Hi everyone and welcome back to Switch Up. My name is Mark Walker. A thanks to Cubic for working with us again to sponsor this one. In a slight change to the schedule, the normal Sunday sales video will be on Tuesday, but we've got an extra sales video for you right now where I've chosen 10 of our favourite games from Cubic, Naptime Games and All In that are currently on ridiculously cheap sales to talk about. And I've saved the very best till last. And as there are lots of Nintendo sales going live Monday and Tuesday, it works out swimmingly. We'll also have some of these games to give away. Just leave your comments down below, letting us know the best ones that you've played from this list. Now, to celebrate the Oktoberfest, they're giving you the chance to grab a physical copy of Dex, Blazing Beaks and Warlocks 2 Godslayers on Nintendo Switch, and there are lots of different ways that you can enter that draw, with the winners being announced on Wednesday, October the 19th. I'll also pop a link to the website so you can go check it all out for yourself. That's in the top pinned comment and the description. I hope you've had a good week. It is Sunday once again. What is on sale? Well, let's find out. It definitely hasn't been lost on me that holiday season is approaching, and as such, my party games list is getting built up. First up, we've got Tools Up, which is a 1 to 4 player cooperative game that takes one of life's most stressful things, moving house, and turns it into a ridiculous physics-based arcade party game. You'll be playing as a crew of renovators trying to do up houses and other properties, painting the walls, tearing off old wallpaper, moving furniture, and undoubtedly you'll be making a complete pig's ear of it like me and my family did. At the moment, it is only £1.79. It's 90% off, and there's a load of DLC as well if you're interested.
Fix up the weird apartments together.
Get the plan.
Get to work.
And turn the job into the best party on the block.
Next up, we've got Tiny Lands, which is 67% off or greater and clocks in at the very reasonable price of £1.34. This one's from Naptime Games and it's an educational puzzle adventure. It's a decent one for the kids and it's super chill. It has nice music. There's an element of spot the difference in here as well. And as with many of the games in this list, it's the perfect loading game. If you're not sure what a loading game is, well, it's a game that you pick up, you play as soon as you start your Switch, and then it kind of helps you to chill and think about what you want to spend those 5 to 10 hours playing. Probably the best loading game is coming at the end, and I know some of you will have guessed what it is already. It's not one that I've really played a great deal of, but Real Boxing 2 at the moment is 90% off, down to £1.34 until October the 26th. You can choose from different styles of boxing, there are mini games in here as you'd expect, and you can customize and create your own fighter. It has 1 or 2 player offline mode, but there's no online functionality, and there are also boss fights in here as well. Now this one actually looks decent. I was hoping for a Ready to Rumble clone, but for about £1, if you're after a little boxing fix, then consider checking that one out. It's the cheapest it's ever been. Now, Red Wings Aces of the Sky is on sale, as is Red Wings American Aces, but we're going to talk about Aces of the Sky. This is one I have put a lot of time into. In fact, I did a dedicated video for this one quite a while back, which I'll pop a link to in the description. This one is down 90% to the ridiculous price of £1.79, and it takes me back to a game I used to play on the Olivetti. Man, I bet some of you don't even know what the Olivetti was, but there was a game on there about the Red Baron that I used to play, and man, I'm a bit of a flight simulator nerd. Now, while this isn't a flight simulator, it's a flight arcade game, and it actually controls really nicely. There are different game modes. You can obviously do dogfights, and you can play offline with 2 players. And there's a storyline in here that follows the rise of the Red Baron. There are 10 different warplanes, and there's co-op. Everyone loves co-op, and it's a great one to, if you've got a kid, to kind of play together, as it's not too challenging, and you can save them from all the tricky situations. Now, it's about 5 to 10 hours long, and well worth just over £1. It wouldn't be a Cubic Games sales video if it didn't have Manaspark, and obviously Manaspark at the moment is down 90% to just 89p. It kind of upsets me that you can't get a 99 with a flake anymore, like that doesn't even exist. I mean, it's still called a 99, but it won't cost you 99p. Sorry to our American friends, you won't know what I'm talking about. You'll have to Google it. But For 89p, you can pick up the really enjoyable roguelite Mana Spark. There was an expansion for this that added in 2-player mode, and it's very much a skill-based game. So it's not one where you have to get stupidly powerful to succeed. It's just how good you are, essentially. Now, it's only 400 odd megs and about 8 to 12 hours long. Another game that I did a dedicated video of is Metamorphosis. This is 84% off, the cheapest it's ever been, down to £3.59. I wonder what the total cost of all these games are. I mean, it's got to be like 15 quid for all 10, or something about that, something in that region. So this is very cool. It has a Lovecraftian feel to it, and essentially you wake up and discover that you've been transformed into a pesky little bug. You then work your way through this house trying to figure out what's going on, and there'll be people having conversations, all very, very strange. Now, this is based on a German novel, the German word for metamorphosis, which I'm going to butcher, I'm sure. This is off the top of my head. Is it something like Die Verwandlung? Something like that. Someone help me in the comments. But it's a really interesting book from Kafka, and the game almost feels like a I don't know, more sinister Alice in Wonderland. It's a 4.3 gigabyte download, and it's only short, about 4 hours, and you'll have wrapped the experience up. That then takes us on to one of my favourite genres, really, the adventure. It's £3.59 for Paradise Lost at the moment, which is another that it's its cheapest ever price. It follows the premise that World War II had no victor. It then persisted for 20 more years, only to end in flames when the Nazis launched nuclear missiles on most of Europe. You play as Simon, who's a 12-year-old boy who's just discovered a massive Nazi bunker while wandering the barren wastelands of Poland after his mother's death. It's a really intriguing storyline, and if you like adventure games, then I'm sure you'll enjoy the 4-hour-long experience. It has a 5.9 gigabyte download, and at 73% off, it's well worth that price.
The faithful need not be afraid. We who have been blessed by the gods will prove the power of our faith to the doubtful.
Now, I mentioned at the start we are moving towards party season, and as such we have another party game for you called Lumberhill. This is an offline 1 to 4 player co-op game. You can also do online, or you can join your switches together and play that way, so it literally has every game mode. And you play as a team of lumberjacks. You can play co-op, but you can also play against each other, which is really fun. And there is a solo mode here as well. Now, lumberjacking might sound like a relatively easy thing to do, but there's like meteors and dinosaurs and Mother Nature trying to stop you at every turn, and there are lots of different worlds for you guys to work through. A really fun one, this. It kind of went under the radar, I think, even of myself. But my daughter was playing it on her Switch, and she was having a blast, so I joined her for a bit of co-op, and we got annihilated. It's £4.91, that's 60% off, the cheapest it's ever been, and might be one to consider. Now, the Bit Trip series are all on massive sales at the moment. These are like the dons, these are the kings of the endless runner genre. But Bit Trip Runner is one that Glen always mentions, and it's incredibly addictive. You obviously control Commander Video, running, jumping and kicking your way through each of the stages. There are 50 levels, perfect loading game. Like, this is almost in the dictionary where it doesn't say loading game, because I'm the one that invented it. It would have this right near it as a really good example. Now, there's quite a bit of gameplay here. You could easily do about 12 to 15 hours. But it's a very much a pick up and play, do a few stages, try and beat a score, try and beat your fastest time. And at £1.34, there isn't much you could purchase for that. I'm getting better, I didn't even say Savaloy, so happy days. Last but certainly not least, because it's my favourite one on the entire list, and it is the best loading game you could ever buy yourself. Let's all say it together. I know you know what it is. It's Arcane. Now, Arcane is a brilliant game. The music from this episode is all the Akane OST, which is incredible, and I'd say the game's worth it just for the soundtrack. It's a really simplistic premise whereby you can hit people to kill them with a single hit, or shoot them, but then you can rack up a move which will clear the entire screen, or drag a line across and then cut through a big group of enemies. And then after every 100 enemies there's a small little boss fight. It might not sound that compelling, but it is great. Now at the moment this one is 89 pence, which is matching its cheapest ever price. And if for some reason you haven't bought this little loading gem, then I highly recommend it. 400 megs, and I really do enjoy it. A reminder that the normal Sunday sales video will be on Tuesday, so you're getting a little extra this week, and that if you've played any of the games here, let us know in the comments, and we've got some codes to give away. And do check out the link in the top pinned comment to enter into that OCTOBERFEST giveaway for the physical games. A thanks to Cubic for working with us again to sponsor this one, and it obviously supports the channel. And as always, if you want to save 10% on any of these, I mean that would take 89p down to whatever, then you can use code SwitchUp over at switchup.gg and buy your eShop credit over there to save a little bit. Fully legit, and it supports us. Have a lovely Sunday evening and hopefully a good Monday. All that's left to say is, for all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!